near the back corner where no one could see us. Her face was all pale and scared when she told me her whole cheating confession was completely made up just to create a distraction so I could get out. She kept wringing her hands and asking if she was going to get expelled, but also saying she'd do it again if she had to. I didn't know what to say because part of me wanted to thank her, and part of me wanted to tell her she shouldn't have risked her whole future for me. Isabella had already started a group chat while we were still in the parking lot and sent a message asking everyone to write down exactly what they remembered while it was still fresh in their minds. Within an hour, my phone had 17 different messages from classmates, all saying the same basic thing about how Miss Vexler locked us in and were ignored the hospice calls. Maya's message was the hardest to read because she typed out exactly how she talked, with all the stuttering, and wrote about how Mom helped her every single day for free when no one else would. The foster home people came to pick up Anthony, but he didn't want to leave, and they had to practically drag him to their car while he kept looking back at the hospice building. That evening, I sat alone in Mom's room at home with all her things the hospice had given me in a plastic bag. Her favorite sweater still smelled like her lavender perfume, and when I held it up to my face, I could almost pretend she was still there. The half-formed word she couldn't finish saying kept playing in my head over and over, that silent U her mouth made but couldn't voice. I folded the sweater real careful and put it back in the bag with her reading glasses and the book she'd been halfway through. Around 8 o'clock, the whole group from class showed up at my door without anyone planning it, and we walked through the neighborhood together, not really talking, but just being there. There's something really strange about Miss Vexler's reaction here. She seems way too prepared for this exact situation, like she knew the hospice would call during the exam. The way she immediately dismissed it as convenient timing, and then claimed the hospice made a mistake over the intercom, makes me wonder what's really driving her actions. Neighbors came out of their houses to watch us pass, and some of them knew Mom from all the kids she'd helped over the years. Mrs. Becker from down the street came out with a casserole dish covered in foil, and didn't say anything, just pulled me into this tight hug that made me start crying again, even though I thought I was all cried out. Back inside, my phone was going crazy with notifications, and when I finally looked at it, there were like 50 messages from kids at the school. Isabella had been texting me screenshots all afternoon of people posting about what happened on Instagram and TikTok, and the comments were already getting wild. Some people were calling Miss Vexler a monster and saying she should go to jail, while others were saying we were probably making it up for attention. Isabella was staying up trying to respond to everyone and keep the facts straight, because some kids who weren't even in our class were adding made-up details about things that never happened. My inbox had this email from someone named Yvette Mendoza, who said she was a district investigator and needed to schedule an interview with me for tomorrow afternoon about the incident. The way she wrote it all formal and official made everything feel way more serious, and I forwarded it to Isabella, who was basically handling everything for me at this point. Then another email came in from the exam board saying our Spanish state exam was flagged as compromised because of the classroom evacuation, and everyone who was in that room would have to deal with the investigation. My whole future felt like it was falling apart along with everything else, and I couldn't even think about college applications anymore. The phone rang, and it was Officer Webb from the police station saying I needed to come give a statement about the broken window and property damage. The way he talked made it sound like I was some criminal who vandalized school property instead of someone trying to see their dying mom, and my hands started shaking all over again. Isabella called me right after and said Amy Gordon had contacted her about Ellie's written statement, and that she was legally required to report suspected abuse to CPS. We all knew Ellie had problems at home with those bruises, but seeing it become this official thing made me feel guilty for not noticing sooner when Mom would have noticed right away. Later that night, I had to sit at the kitchen table with all the hospice paperwork and sign a bunch of forms with the official